Hi everyone. So in this video, I'm gonna go ahead and start up my Google Cloud platform. As you can see, I am currently here in my Google Cloud platform home, and I'm gonna go ahead and just go to my compute engine and my virtual machine instances, and I can see here that these are my nodes. This is my master node, this is my worker node, and this is my other worker node. And I'm just going to turn them all on. They were currently off or stopped because I didn't really need them while I was gone. But now I'm back, and so I need them on. And I'm just going to wait for this. Um, so yeah, let's give it a second. Once it turns on, I'm going to go ahead and load my security shell. This is basically um, where I'm going to be able to program in Linux. So this is it. I'm going to go ahead and open in browser window, and this is what pops up. Let's give it a minute. And I think I'm going to actually make this window much bigger, just so what I'm doing can be really, really seen. Let's give it a second. It's taking some time, and that's okay. Oh, let's see. That's never happened before, but make sure everything's good. Okay, that took a while. I am so sorry, but it is finally loaded. And so I'm just going to go ahead and click clear. I always do this just so I can have more room and just more relevant information on my particular command line. So the first thing I'm actually going to do is I'm going to go ahead and check to make sure that all my APIs and process servers are running correctly. And so to do that, I'm going to type in this particular command line. This is in Linux. So this is the command line that I'm using. And I'm going to go ahead and press enter. And as you can see, it gives me all the process servers that are running. I can see that I have Hive right over here. I have another Hive, Yarn, MapReduce, HDFS is running properly, another HDFS, Yarn again, Root, and Spark. Those are all everything that is running. So I am good to go. I'm going to go ahead and press enter again. And down here, I'm going to go ahead and verify that that a directory has been created with my user so that I can readily access any data within my file. So first, I'm going to go ahead and list the files that I have under my username. So that's HDFS, DFS, LS /user. And I can see these are all my files I have anonymous, HBase, HDFS, Hive, MapReduce. There's me, my directory. Pig, Spark, Yarn, and Zookeeper. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that there is there is a directory within mine, and I can see that there is. But what I need to do is I need to go ahead and create a new directory in my file that includes the sales records data. This is what I kind of want to analyze for the company. So to check and make sure that that is there, I want to go ahead and click HDFS, DFS. Great. So it looks like I do have a data file there. And within that data file, I actually already did this. I already went ahead and created a directory called sales records. And I want to see and make sure that I have that directory inside my data file. because that's very important when it comes to the next stages where I have to go ahead and import a data set into this particular server. So I'm just going to go ahead and check. I've already done this. Let me just go ahead and guarantee that everything is good. Before I do that, let me actually get myself more room. So HDFS, DFS, ls/user. Okay, perfect. So as you can see in my data file, I do already have a new directory called sales records. And from then on, I can go ahead and move on. So the next thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and just click or just check out my current directory, which is my data directory. I want to check that one out. I want to be in that particular file. And the reason I do that is because I kind of want to go ahead and basically copy whatever data set that I have already in my console or my Google platform. I want to transfer it onto this server so I can go ahead and access it and use it to draw insights and analyze it for the company. And so there's actually a very interesting command line for this one. I actually already did it, like I said. So what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to pause and I'm going to show you exactly what I had done. So here, as you can see, I went ahead and I wanted to view my current directory, my data file. And so here I have now that my data file is what I'm in, what I'm accessing. And I use this command line, gsutil cp, and then this is the URL bit code for my data set. And it's called sales records 1 adta5240.csv. It's a CSV file, and this command line copies that data set into the server so I can go ahead and access it later. So I go ahead and list the space or whatever files I have in my data file that are present, and I see that I have the sales records. It's been correctly uploaded. I have some others from some other projects that I've done, but what's most important to me is that I have this sales records one to access. So then I go ahead and I make sure to put that particular data set into my sales record data file because it needs to be matching up, and I need to maintain the what's the word? I kind of want to maintain the names of the files so I don't lose track. I want my sales record data set to be in a sales record file. And so that's why I use this command line put. So I can put that file into my sales records file, which is also in my data file, which is also in a file under my name. So it's basically like a hierarchy of some sorts. So once I do that, I go ahead and use this command line, hdfs dfs -ls, and then the user Perl_uberu data and sales records. That's going to go ahead and allow me to see, is my data set actually in that file? And I can see that it did find, one item, and the one item was my data set that I just uploaded. So that's kind of how I know that I am pretty much good to go. So, in this screenshot, I actually initiated the Hive command. It's actually not pictured. I don't know why. I can actually just show y'all what the Hive command looks like. And this is just for you to initiate it. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. I'm going to go ahead and open a new security shell here. Give it a moment as usual. Okay, that was pretty quick. I'm going to go ahead and clear. And I'm going to go ahead and initiate the code or the Hive command line, which is beeline dash U JDBC colon Hive 2 colon slash slash localhost colon 10,000. I have done this particular command line so many times that I pretty much memorized it. Like, I literally had to memorize it. With that being said, this is the command line that's going to go ahead and initiate Hive. So I'm going to press enter. And as you can see, it's connecting to the Hive server. And it finally does. So now I know that I'm connected to the Hive server with this particular, what's it called? Command line here, or beginning command line. So the first thing I want to do is I want to be able to show my tables. So I want to see what tables I have available. And y'all are about to scream because I had to make several tables, but whatever. I'm going to show my table. That's a SQL command line, by the way. Show tables is a type of SQL, but in this case, it's HiveQL, and that's what I'm using in this particular server here. So as you can see, I have 26 different tables, and I will explain later why I have so many, but they're all here, and that is perfect for me. I'm going to go back a second to my Word document and show y'all here. This was the initial tables I had. I only had these two right here. Right here. And I went ahead and added sales records _1. That was my first simple schema, or my first simple table. As you can see, I made an error here. So I made a mistake, and it's because I believe I put the wrong comma. I don't know if you can see right here. I mean the wrong quotation mark. So it was wrong quotation mark. So when I went back and fixed that, and when I did, I was able to form the sales records table, which is my simple schema, or my simple query. From there, I went ahead and I wanted to see what kind of content were in my data set. I wanted to see what was there in the sales record. So I used this HiveQL command line, select star from sales records _1, and I only wanted to show 3 rows. So those are the 3 rows that showed. Limit 3 means show 3 rows. And so I noticed that we had a lot of variables, or a lot of fields. We had row ID, order date, ship mode, custom ID, customer name, segment, country, city, state, postal code, region, product ID, category, subcategory, product name, sales, quantity, discount, profit. So many things, so many fields. I was like, wow, this is a lot. And so from there, I actually went ahead and made a more detailed schema, because I knew that, yes, all this information is lovely and all this information is incredibly helpful, but I need to make a more detailed schema. And I went ahead and did that. It was called sales record _3. And truthfully, sales record _3 was a correct schema. It says that I had a customer ID string, a city string, a state string, postal code string. I wanted sales, which were double, quantity and quantity, integer, which was an integer, and so on and so forth. But what I found was that there were a lot of little errors, and it was honestly driving me really crazy. I did not create a screenshot of that, but please know that postal code was actually supposed to be, I believe, an integer, because it was a number. So a lot of times it was not popping up correctly. And I actually made 26 tables simply because I just could not get the right information. So yeah, sales records 3 was one of my first tables. I kept wanting to run the query that I wanted, and it just was not giving me information. It kept giving me null values. I knew it was not the issue of the field terminated by, because I made sure to put that the fields were terminated not by a tab, but by commas. But yet I was still getting a lot of issues. So I finally, I don't know if you can see here in this particular frame, but as you can see, there are some null values still. And I honestly gave up on that because the null values were, I believe, dates. And I remember seeing that the dates on this particular data set were not written in a format that Hive could process. And the dates had a format slash 2010 or something like that. And Hive doesn't read those dates like that. You have to reformat them to have dashes in between, not slashes. And so I